It's time for the Waiver Wire, presented by YouTube TV. This is a list compiled by Matt Okada. A couple of quarterbacks up top, Sam Howell and Joshua Dobbs. A lot of running backs. Chuba Hubbard getting more opportunities there in Carolina, especially with Miles Sanders injured. Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason to watch in San Francisco because of the injury to Christian McCaffrey. Daily double in Chicago with Deontay Foreman and Roschon Johnson. Meanwhile, Craig Reynolds they're in Detroit with David Montgomery banged up. Kareem Hunt got a lot of opportunities for Cleveland on Sunday. And there's Damian Williams and Keontae Ingram, who look like the top two choices down in Arizona. Then there's Ezekiel Elliott over in New England. Over to the wide receivers. Deontay Johnson looking to get back soon from injured reserve. Should check to see if he's still out there on your waiver wire. Wan'Dale Robinson getting more run for the Giants. Josh Downs getting a lot of love in Indianapolis. There's Kendrick Bourne in New England, KJ Osborne in Minnesota. Rashee Rice looks like he's establishing himself in Kansas City. Jackson Smith and Jigba for the Seahawks had one of his best games of the season. Tyler Boyd in Cincinnati and Curtis Samuel in Washington is a thing. Everybody jump in now. And the tight ends, Logan Thomas for the Commanders, Jake Ferguson with the Dallas Cowboys. They're on a bye, but maybe time to go stash him right now. Cade Otton getting some love, hopefully, fingers crossed, down there in Tampa Bay. Luke Musgrave, hopefully back out of concussion protocol. And Michael Mayer starting to get some work with the Las Vegas Raiders. Time now to bring in the guy who writes our waiver wire column every single week. It's Matt Okada. You can check it out, of course, at NFL.com/waiver wire. And Okada, this is a big week for waivers because we got 6 teams on a bye. The Panthers, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Jets, the Titans all have the week off. Why the league couldn't have just made it 4-4 instead of going 2-6, I don't know. That's above my pay grade, right? But let's just get going with the quarterbacks. Because Sam Howell, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he's scoring all these fantasy points, but every week he seems to be scoring a lot of fantasy points. So I guess we should just stop asking why and just kind of enjoy the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think a nice thing about it is he's doing it in a bunch of different ways. He's done it with yards. He's done it with his legs. This last week he did it with touchdowns through 3 of them. And he's been good pretty much all year. He's averaged 276 yards and 2 TDs per game since week 4, hit 18-plus fantasy points in 4 of his last 5. He is the QB 12 overall in the season, despite posting what was essentially a 0 in week 3 against the Bills. So if you take that out, he's been great. And he's got a pretty relatively fantasy-friendly schedule coming up over the next few weeks, including the Giants and the Eagles, who sound scary but aren't bad for fantasy quarterbacks. And he's got a really good receiving core. As frustrating as their usage might be, it's working out for him. I think he's a viable stream in most matchups and an every week starter in 2 QB leagues or deeper leagues.
Completely agree with you there. And yet, Matt, yesterday, Chuba Hubbard went out and had more fantasy points than Miles Sanders has had in all but one game this season. But they're on bye next week, but that's not scaring you off. You're saying still go out and add Chuba Hubbard this week.
Yeah, listen, beggars can't be choosers these days, Florio. We got to get running back somehow, and if it means tucking one away when he's on the team's bye, I'm willing to do it. Like you said, Hubbard, 19 carries, 88 yards this past week, including a touchdown. Both of those numbers were better than Sanders' season highs through the first 5 weeks. Hubbard took 76% of Carolina's snaps, which is basically bell cow territory. So if Sanders is still out when they come back from their bye, Hubbard is a locked and loaded play. If Sanders comes back, at the very worst, Hubbard is a really solid, stash handcuff type player. But given the fact that he's been more efficient than Sanders all year, I'm not convinced that they don't start to lean more towards Hubbard as the lead guy. And if they do that, he's got 15 touch upside, and that is really all we can ask these days out of a healthy fantasy running back.
I mean, yeah, even before the Sanders injury, you could see Hubbard just sort of closing the gap in terms of snaps and touches and that sort of thing. So I think that just continues to even after the bye. In San Francisco, obviously a healthy Christian McCaffrey is the guy, but he's not completely healthy. At least he wasn't on Sunday. So it's a daily double, either Elijah Mitchell or Jordan Mason. Is there one that you maybe prefer more than the other?
There is, and I'm pretty sure daily doubles are supposed to mean extra money for all of us. I don't know if that's the case here. We would probably write if CMC missed this time. I prefer Elijah Mitchell, and it's not cut and dry because Jordan Mason is the bigger back, which means he's more likely to get early down and goal line type work. and he did have more opportunity and snaps and touches on Sunday when CMC went out. However, Elijah Mitchell was just coming back from an injury, and Mason is a special teams guy who's going to get work regardless and has never been a starter. Elijah Mitchell, for those who forget, back when he was a rookie, he started 10 games. He averaged 15 fantasy points a game. He was the RB 15 in points per game that year. I think Shanahan might rotate these guys, but if I'm going to pick one, it's Mitchell. You should probably look at picking up both if CMC is going to be out.
Another backfield with two backs here is in Chicago with their dual running backs there. But we were talking about earlier on the show, the Raiders have been a get-right spot for running backs all year long, and that's who the Bears get next week. So how excited should we be for the Chicago duo?
Yeah, I'm decently excited potentially about both. Last week in the column, I said I preferred Roschon Johnson over Deontay Foreman, but Johnson was in concussion protocol. He didn't clear. Foreman got the start and was decent against the Vikings, 65 yards on 15 carries. I think Johnson should clear the protocol and be back for that matchup with the Raiders, that get-right game. If that's the case, I would add him, rank him, and start him ahead of Foreman. I think he has more upside. He's more versatile. But that being said, I'm willing to also roll Foreman out there, or at least have him on the roster to see how things pan out. This is a bit of a moving part situation because Justin Fields is also injured. He dislocated his thumb. So pay attention to the news. Listen to Marcus and Florio. Keep your ears open. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I like Deontay Foreman this week because there was no Roschon Johnson. I think he still has some upside potentially, but if Johnson's back, everything points to him sort of being the guy in the backfield to get the first crack at things. In New York, been very happy to see Wan'Dale Robinson sort of work into the offense. He's had 5 targets in every single game, 5 or more, I should say, in every single game, even if they are sort of short, extended handoff sort of targets. But they had the big game on Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills with 62 receiving yards. One, are we really in on Wan'Dale Robinson? And 2, can we start a petition to make Tyrod the quarterback? Because he seemed to get all the pass catchers involved.
I would sign that petition, first of all. Second of all, yes, I'm in on Wan'Dale. You might remember I've been in on Wan'Dale for like almost a month now. I told everybody to stash him a long time ago. And the Giant Chickens came home to roost this past Sunday night. 8 catches on 8 targets. Both of those were team highs, 62 yards. Since returning from his knee injury in week 3, he has drawn a target on 28% of his routes. That is stud territory. And he has an 88% catch rate on those targets. And I think he continues to progress in both involvement and evolution as a player. I think he will demand more routes, more opportunities, more utilization downfield, which should improve his efficiency. And I think he has really all the makings of a target vacuum, PPR-friendly kind of asset, sort of like Victor Cruz of old, once Brian Daboll recognizes this and starts involving him as he should be in this offense. He could be the wide receiver 1.
I just want to see him break out the salsa dance if he scores a touchdown. That's all I want out of him. Okada, another wide receiver, KJ Osborne. Yesterday felt kind of like the floor for him, but one thing that we were talking about earlier is the Vikings. Their worst fantasy games come when they win. They get the Niners next week. Not so sure they're going to win, so better days ahead for KJ?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was 100% game script. It was about a quarter and a half in, and he had 4 catches for 48 yards, and I was like, hurrah, we have a decent backup for Justin Jefferson, and we're going to get good fantasy output from Osborne. He finished with 4 catches for 48 yards, which was incredibly frustrating. The Vikings just stopped throwing. Cousins threw, I think, 31 passes in the game, and he topped 44 in most of the previous games of the year. I expect Minnesota to get back to a more fantasy-friendly game script moving forward. In that game against the Niners, where they're likely to be trailing, there are going to be a lot of targets to go around, and Osborne is probably like the 1B or 1C behind Hawkinson alongside Addison. All those guys are going to get involved, and I think Osborne is going to be fantasy useful for as long as Jefferson is out.
So we got KJ Osborne kind of pairing up with Jordan Addison in Minnesota. Meanwhile, over in Las Vegas, I mean, this was supposed to be the year of the rookie tight end, but Dalton Kincaid has been underwhelming as he's splitting time with Dawson Knox. Sam Laporte has been amazing. Michael Mayer had been just a ghost. I mean, he had 2 targets all season long until a couple of weeks ago. Last week, he had 3 targets. On Sunday, 6 targets, turned it into 75 receiving yards. So can we trust now that Michael Mayer is emerging, that he is here to come and play for that Raider offense?
Trust might be a strong word, Marcus. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. He's still a rookie tight end, and to your point, yes, this was an exciting draft class, but you shouldn't expect much more than what Mayer did over the first month of the season. Sam Laporta is not the norm. Do not look to that for the archetype here. What we have seen is over the last 2 weeks, McDaniels and the Raiders offense have made a point of getting Michael Mayer involved, and he has capitalized. Like you said, 75-yard performance in Sunday's win. And what I've noticed most is he is a extremely consistent chain mover. 6 of his 8 catches have gone for first downs. He's kind of annoyingly doing a lot of what Devontae Adams should be doing for this offense, and that likely corrects itself, so Devontae will probably bump back up to take some of this work from Mayer. But with how good he's looked, if he continues to get this kind of involvement, he might be a streamable option, so I'd tuck him away on your bench if you can, have him for the stretch.
You talk about tucking some guys away. Normally, I know you have your guys to stash. Is there anybody out there that people should maybe try to get ahead of the curve on right now?
I will say a couple tight ends that I like are Cade Otton and Luke Musgrave. Both of them are decent streams this week, and both of them have upside down the stretch. Beyond that, we mentioned Rashee Rice on the full screen on the list of guys. He looks like he is, and we've said this before, maybe stepping up into that true wide receiver 1 role in Kansas City. I said it last week. He had a good week. I think it continues to progress for Rashee. He has an opportunity to be the guy, and that would be huge for fantasy.
I will admit that it's become a perverse little game for me to figure out which Chiefs receiver is going to go off at any given week. And Rashee Rice might be taking that away from me in the very near future. Who knows? But we'll see. But Matt, as always, appreciate it, man. Have everybody go check him out at Matt Okada on Twitter and go read the article at NFL.com/waiverwire. Always appreciate it, Matt. We will talk to you next week. In the meantime, we've had a whole full show of things and a whole lot of injury news to talk about, a whole lot of things that we're going to try to maneuver as we get a little bit later on in the week. So in the meantime, for us, that is it. We are done. We appreciate you hanging out with the NFL Fantasy Football Show presented by Subway. You know the drill. Tell 2 friends to tell 2 friends. Rate, review, and remember, the problem with the rat race is that even if you win, you're still a rat. Be safe, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you again real soon.